Jai Shri Ram. In the Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 66th verse, Krishna tells us something about how neurotics suffer in life. नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चा भावयत शांति अशांतस्य कुतः सुखम. So, nasti buddhi. Buddhi means intellect, discrimination. Ayuktasya, not united. Not united with what? Not united with Krishna. Not united with Vedic wisdom. Not immersed or anchored in Vedantam. Not anchored in Bhagavad Gita. Nacha yuktasya, ayuktasya bhavana. Nacha ayuktasya bhavana. So one who is ayukta, that is not united, not anchored, not firmly entrenched in Bhagavad Gita, he will not have any sense of contemplation. He cannot concentrate, no focus. Nacha bhava yata shanti. One, nacha bhava abhavayanta. So one who is not united, how can he have any peace? If you are not Vedantic in your outlook, you will not have peace. If you believe any other cult philosophy, you will mess up with your own life. You will waste your life. Bhagavad Gita is the only thing that you should anchor yourself in. Once you are anchored in Bhagavad Gita, then nothing will disturb you. Nothing will bother you. So, nasti buddhira yuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha bhava yata shanti. So, where can there be peace? Ashantasya kuta sukham. And where can there be happiness or joy, happiness for one who has no peace at all? So, Mukundananda, he translates it like this. But an undisciplined person who has not controlled the mind and the senses can neither have a resolute intellect nor steady contemplation on God. For one who never unites the mind with God, there is no peace. And how can one who lacks peace be happy? And Swami Mukundananda goes on to expatiate on this shloka by narrating a story, which is the story of the bee, lotus and the elephant. The story goes like this. The bee was sitting on a lotus flower, sucking the nectar. The sun began to set. The petals of the flower were closing, but the bee was enjoying the honey and it refused to fly off. It was thinking, there is still some time for the flower to fully close. Let me enjoy some more of the honey, nectar. So similarly, we also can see old age coming. It's a sure sign of death. Every day we are marching towards the grave. But like the bee, we remain engrossed in enjoying worldly pleasures. In the meantime, it became dark. The flower closed, trapping the bee. But the bee was thinking, never mind, no problem. I'll remain inside this beloved flower of mine for tonight. Tomorrow morning, when the petals open, I will fly away. In fact, the bee has the power to cut through wood. But because of this attachment to the pleasures of the senses, the bee, which could have cut through wood, is stuck inside the soft petals of the lotus. In the meanwhile, an elephant came. It broke the lotus from the stem and swallowed the whole thing. And the bee was along with the lotus inside the stomach. And the bee was thinking, oh, my beloved lotus is going somewhere and I am happily going along with it. Shortly, it died. End of the story. Similarly, we humans too are engrossed in the gratification of the senses and do not heed the message of Krishna, Rama, Upanishads, Sants, Tukaram, so many sants, innumerable sants, a galaxy of sants. That is why Bharat is a Punya Bhumi. We don't listen to them. You have every right to enjoy, but remember, beyond a point, you have to engage yourself in Karma Yoga. So finally, time overtakes us in the form of death. So, at the end, the person is frustrated. You have failed to discipline your senses. You have failed to engage in Karma Yoga. And you are rocked by all these miseries because you had no control over the senses. So material desires are like an itching eczema. The more you scratch, the worse the eczema becomes. The only ointment is Bhagavad Gita. How can you be truly happy in a mire of material indulgence? It's like a fire. Fire, can you douse fire with ghee? The fire will become bigger. So also sense pleasures, the more you try to gratify, the more stronger they become. So this is a challenge. At some time in your life, the earlier the better. You must gain absolute control. Huh? And perhaps indulge in it once in a while, but not be controlled by them. That is brahmacharya. Huh? Jai Shri Ram. Again, we'll repeat the shlokam. Nasti buddhirayuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha bhavayata shanti ashantasya kuta sukham. Bhavana is contemplation. Swamiji Mukundananda translates bhavana as contemplation. The capacity to think deeply, ponder, cerebrate, cogitate, ruminate, mull over, muse over the deeper issues, the deeper questions of life. If you are satisfied with some silly answers and you think that is sufficient, I will go on behaving like an idiot and perform rituals to Chandmiya or some Bondamiya or some grave or follow some stupid cult. You think you are going to be saved? You are like the bee. You will die a miserable death and you will come back again. This whole process will repeat. Charvita charvananam. You will have to repeat chewing the chewed cud, which means it is a metaphor for coming back to life. Again go through. And what is the guarantee you would be born as a human? That is why Veda says being born as a human is a blessing. Uttishta jagrita varan nibodhata. Uttishta jagrita varan nibodhata. You got a boon. Varam dorkindi. Uttishta jagrita varan nibodhata. Kshurasya dhara nishita duratyaya. You have to walk on the edge of a razor. Be careful. Wake up, oh man. Oh man, you are blessed. You got a boon. The boon of being born as a man. And you have to walk on the edge of a razor. Be careful. One misstep and you will fall. And this pain and misery will continue. So get a control, get a grip over your senses. And be immersed in Karma Yoga. Be an agent of Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.